very warm welcome and heartfelt thank you to all of you for joining us here this evening. A special evening in memoriam of His Holiness Pramukh Swami Maharaj. Pramukh Swami Maharaj was the fifth spiritual successor of Bhagwan Swaminarayan and the spiritual leader of BAPS Swaminarayan Sanstha. He was an inspiration to millions of people worldwide, guiding them all to lead a spiritual life. Personifying his motto, "In the joy of others lies our own," he dedicated his entire life in serving and inspiring others for the greater good of humanity.
On 21st May 1950, just over 66 years ago, Shastriji Maharaj, the founder of this BAPS Swaminarayan organization, he appointed Pramukh Swami Maharaj. He was only 28 years old then. He appointed him as the president of this organization. And after that ceremony, the newly appointed president, Pramukh Swami, he could be found washing the dirty utensils that had been used by the devotees. It was as if the gravity of the occasion had barely registered upon him. Some 50 years later, in a casual conversation with some sadhus, someone asked Pramukh Swami Maharaj that you had just been appointed president of this vast organization by your guru. It was a day of immense honor for you, a day of great celebration for the devotees. Yet you were busy washing the utensils. Why? Pramukh Swami, he simply replied, "Ke Pramukh thaya to shu sevak mati gaya?" Just because I had been made the president or the Pramukh of this organization, it didn't mean that I was no longer a servant. For him, being a leader, being a president was not a badge of honor, but it was another reason for him to serve society.
Param Pujya Pramukh Swami Maharaj's love was such that you cannot describe it in words. It was a matter of experience. Each and every individual seated here today has somehow, at some place, at some time, even for a moment, has experienced the love of Swami Shri, which has not only left a lasting impression on our minds, but it has also penetrated our hearts. When you analyze the life of Pramukh Swami Maharaj, one thing is very clear. He has never lived a second for himself. Each and every day, each and every hour, he has spent serving others, loving others, caring for mankind. And that is why he would often say, he would often teach, and he had fully mastered his own motto, which was, "In the joy of others lies our own."
The profound impact that we have seen and heard this evening has resonated through an endless collection of tributes from dignitaries across the world.
His Holiness's inspiration has not only created these two wonderful landmarks, Neasden Temple and Swaminarayan Akshardham, but has also inspired a vibrant community to lead pious and virtuous lives, following his own life ethos. In the joy of others lies our own. His Royal Highness, the Prince of Wales, Prince Charles. His Holiness Pramukh Swami Maharaj inspired millions with his powerful motto, "In the good of others lies our own." This legacy of selfless service will continue to benefit humanity for a long time to come. Right Honourable Theresa May, MP, Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. His Holiness has given to London a priceless gift by building the Neasden Temple in our great city. The temple stands as a testament not only to His Holiness's vision and foresight, but most importantly to the thousands of volunteers he inspired. Mr. Sadiq Khan, Mayor of London.
As architect for the head of the design team for the Mandir and Haveli complex, I had the good fortune and privilege to meet and to work with Swamiji on the design of these buildings. Swamiji had a vision, and he guided us on a journey to learn what we needed to learn to fulfill this vision. He led us to achieve what at the outset seemed daunting, if not impossible. He lifted our sights and enabled us to work, and truly creatively, on the design of a mandir to last 1,000 years, and with it, a building to be the centre of the Swaminarayan community in England and Europe. He was a great organizer. He was decisive and encouraging. He inspired immense commitment and enthusiasm to enable the Mandir and Haveli to be built to the highest standards in a remarkably short time. He was radiant. I am grateful to have worked with him. He was our inspiration.
If we think of him, we know this was a life of service, constant, unending service. And we know too, don't we, of the joy that he brought us all. And yet, when we were in his presence, what was there in our hearts, in our minds? What did we carry away with us? This sense of peace and tranquility. And that's what he always gave us. Peace, tranquility. Because he was centered. He was centered on love and service. That's what he brought to us, wherever he was, wherever in the world, whoever he was amongst. Race, class, caste, religion meant nothing to him. What mattered was love. Love in action.
His greatest achievement was to see how he could keep all the communities together, to ensure how the Hindu and the Vedic traditions and cultures could be taken forward. He built so many monuments all around the world that they will always transmit our tradition and culture to millions of people. Besides all this, what you have seen, the greatest quality he had was a leadership with humbleness.
Srimad Bhagavad describes that there are 6 qualities of a saint or sadhu. And all 6 of these you'll find in the embodiment of Pramukh Swami. Despite running an international organization with millions of followers around the world, and you can imagine the challenges that come with that, whenever you saw him, he was always peaceful. Why? Because he was always giving, never taking. He had all the good qualities of all the devatas, and specifically, in what I saw in his life, the quality of Shama, forgiveness. The founder of the Hare Krishna Samstha, Swami Prabhupada, would often say something which really attributes to Pramukh Swamiji Maharaj. He would often tell us, don't try to see God, but serve and work in such a way that God will want to see you. And that was Pramukh Swamiji Maharaj.
We are indeed all present here today to pay homage to this monumental spiritual figure who is spiritual leader, not only of the BAPS Swaminarayan organization and institutions, but as we have seen through the evening, of all humanity, of all human beings who believe in humanism, in universal brotherhood, in love for each other, and in the humility of service. Only that can bring together the kind of tributes that you have heard from all over the world today.
खास करके अपने भारत के जो राष्ट्रपति अब्दुल कलाम 2000 की साल में प्रमुख स्वामी से प्रथम मुलाकात दिल्ली में हुई, तब से लेकर करीब 15 साल तक स्वामी जी के प्रसंग में आए, लेकिन बहुत प्रभावित हुए। हम हर दफ़े देखते थे कि आते हैं, मिलते हैं, अत्यंत भावुक है, प्रेमी है, नम्र है, लेकिन जब उन्होंने जो किताब लिखी ट्रांसेंडेंस और उन्होंने प्रमुख स्वामी के बारे में जो वर्णन किया, तब पता चला कि कितना अहोभाव, कितना पूज्य भाव उनको स्वामी जी में था। उन्होंने वर्णन किया कि स्वामी जी तो हमारे स्पिरिचुअल गुरु थे। स्वामी जी को स्पिरिचुअल गुरु मानना बहुत बड़ी बात है। ऐसे बड़े साइंटिस्ट और ऐसे तो मुस्लिम थे, फिर भी प्रमुख स्वामी के प्रति उनको अपार प्रेम था और इस वजह से उन्होंने ये किताब लिखी। जब अक्षरधाम का उद्घाटन हुआ दिल्ली में, तब अक्षरधाम को देखकर बहुत प्रसन्न हुए राष्ट्रपति और स्वामी जी से बार बार पूछने लगे कि आपने कमाल कर दिया, ये आपने अद्भुत एक जो है सीमाचिन्ह रूप कार्य किया है। तब स्वामी जी ने कहा कि ये तो भगवान का कार्य है, कर्ता भगवान है और हम तो सिर्फ सेवा करते हैं। तो राष्ट्रपति अब्दुल कलाम जी बार बार कहने लगे कि नहीं, आपने ही किया, आपने ही किया, और स्वामी जी बार बार मना करते थे कि नहीं, हमने नहीं किया, ये भगवान ने किया है। तब अंत में राष्ट्रपति जी ने कहा कि आपके हृदय में जो भगवान विराजमान है, उन्होंने यह कार्य किया है। तब स्वामी जी ने वो मान्य किया, लेकिन बार बार स्वामी जी ने यही बताया कि कर्ता भगवान है, हम निमित्त मात्र है, हम उनके सेवक है। तो आज सारे विश्व में सब जो उनके परिचय में आए, प्रसंग में आए, स्वामी जी को याद करते हैं और मन में सोचते हैं कि ऐसे महापुरुष, वो सिर्फ इस समय के महापुरुष नहीं थे, वो युग पुरुष थे और उन्होंने सारा युग का परिवर्तन का एक अद्भुत कार्य किया है जो हम कभी भी भूल नहीं सकते, और उसका जो ऋण है वो हम कभी भी अदा नहीं कर सकते। ऐसी बात आज सारे विश्व में सब जो स्वामी जी के परिचित है, उसके हृदय में ये आवाज़ आ रहा है। आज इस अवसर पर आप सभी यहाँ पधारे, आपके हम बहुत आभारी हैं और हम भगवान स्वामीनारायण और प्रमुख स्वामी महाराज से प्रार्थना करते हैं कि उन्होंने जो कुछ भी हमें सिखाया, जो कुछ भी उपदेश दिया, जो कुछ भी माने सत्संग और भक्ति के बारे में बताया, वो हम अपने जीवन में उसका साक्षात्कार कर सके, ऐसी हम उनके चरणों में प्रार्थना करते हैं।
स्वामीनारायण 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 Swaminarayan, 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 Swaminarayan.
The number of tributes which have poured in from all over the world is a testimony to his virtues, to his, spirituality, and his wisdom, and the guidance he's given to his followers all over the world. I mean, it is not easy to get even one house built properly, whereas he has been able to build over 1,000 temples.
I think the fact that he gave his life to service, so he decided that he would travel, the world, and he would visit places of severe disasters, and he would help to build hospitals and schools and to feed the poor and the hungry. I think that's what made him very special, His Holiness very special, because it was that humbleness that made him holy. And that's a very unique gift to have, and very few people have that.
His blessings will remain with us forever and a day, and we are truly, truly grateful to have had such a saintly man in our midst, in our lives, to have pleasure of meeting him. It was unique.
And it's so common whether you're Sikh, Hindu or Muslim, religion does not hold a bar with Swamiji.
If anybody can tell people to be peaceful, understanding, tolerance, forgiveness after the attack on Akshardham in Gandhinagar, that must be a great man.
That he touched the life of so many millions that he has been recognized by all over the world. So in my own humble way, I've come to pay my respect to a person who dedicated his entire life to the service of mankind.
His values, that embedded in me this seva principle, that he, very poorest of the poor children, studied there free, and that was something was amazing and installed into me to help.
It's just his selflessness, when he says to serve others and the joy in serving others, that means so much, because it just teaches us to, you do your work, but to serve and help others is really what it's all about. To serve humanity and mankind.
He was a man of great inspiration, the ability to inspire great joy and great love in people, and above all else, he brought humility to the world and brought his message of peace and love to everyone.
We lost a remarkable man. And then suddenly you say to yourself something very simple, that the enormity of what had happened on that day will not dawn onto us until a few days afterwards. But then to see the funeral procession, the people who were there, it was just a remarkable occasion that people stood still. The world almost stood still at that particular time. And my tribute to him is very simply this, that he had the innocence of a newly born child, but he had the wisdom of a sage, a wise man. And I think putting these two qualities together, that brought him so close to children, to elders, to other people around. And if I have to say one thing about him, what has he given us? I think he is the one who has given us our culture back.